Hi there, folks. How are we doing today? Let me just check that my microphone's actually working. I think it is because I'm pretty sure I checked before, but yeah, it's fine. Don't know why. I just started thinking, oh, what if my microphone's not working? Um, I just so when I start the countdown, I hear it in this, and and it was really loud. It was too loud because I was tutoring before this and well earlier on, and I had to turn the volume up when I'm tutoring because the microphone must not be very loud. But anyway, the countdown music was really loud in my ear, so I turned down the volume. But I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a bit funny with volume. Like, the volume has got to be on a sensible number. Like it's got to be for me. It's got to be a multiple of five. So if it doesn't end in a five or a zero, then it makes me feel uncomfortable. Um, and I'm the same with the TV volume. So I went to turn the volume down on my computer there, and it was going to 58, and then 61, and then 58, and then 61, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, like I'm not going to be able to concentrate if I can't get this to 60." Thankfully, I managed to get it, but yeah, we're lucky. You could have been spending the first 5-10 minutes with me just footering with the volume. So anyway, champagne problems, eh? How are we all doing? Let's see, I can see I've got John from Jumping Spider 66 and the lovely Liz from Cala Lizzie are both here. It's lovely to see you. I hope you're doing okay. Um, both confirming you can hear me okay, so that's brilliant. Thank you. Um, Liz says, I constantly adjust and people always complain that it's not loud enough. Yeah, I kind of know the feeling. Uh, See, like my husband likes to try and like sneak it past me. Like he'll try and change the volume to a ridiculous number, like I don't know, 38 when I'm not looking. Um, yeah, but anyway, Donna's here. Hi, Donna, and Scott's here as well. Hi, Scott. How you doing? What are we all up to? Have we been having a good week? I've got a cup of decaf tea tonight. In my Mr. Perfect mug because this is like probably one of my favourite mugs to drink out of. Um, I'm quite particular with mugs. I should probably stop being so honest on this live because I'm realizing that I'm now just sharing all the things that I'm really pedantic about. Um, but yeah, I'm particular with volume and I'm particular with mugs too. Uh, but yeah, this is a good mug, so I'm enjoying my cup of tea. What's everybody else drinking? John saying hi to everyone. Liz says, I'm not looking, but I'm not deaf. um, yeah, I thought we could just have a wee catch up today. I don't have anything particular to. Well, I do. That's a lie. I've got the next deck in the Total Tarot to share with you. I thought I would go through that just in the same way that we've been doing before. And I've got the next spread in the Total Tarot magazines. Excuse me. It's quite a good one today, actually. So I thought a wee bit later on we can do the spread together. But I just wanted to catch up with you first. Donna says you do you, Chris. Yeah, don't worry, I will. I've been has anyone seen this version of the Rider Waite Smith? Um it comes in this box. Oh, I've just knocked tissues on the floor. Comes in this box and it's like got this really nice kind of a embossed back. And the fronts are kind of a I don't know, they're quite a nice colour. They almost seem like painted. Let's see, the Wheel of Fortune's really nice. It's sort of like the universal weight taro, but it's not really. Um, yeah, I just like it. It's nice. It's quite a thick deck. So it took a fair bit of working in before I could get it to riffle shuffle nicely. But um, once I'd worked with it a bit and kind of loosened it up a bit, it, it was okay. Deanne's here. Hi, Deanne. How you doing? Um, you're just saying hi to each other. John is drinking coffee. Liz is drinking water. Nice. Um, remind me, John, whereabouts in the world are you? Um, are you drinking normal coffee or decaf coffee? Do you bother with decaf or do you just caffeinated all the way? Um, I tend to need to switch to decaf. I think about 7 o'clock is usually my cut off. That's when I'll switch to decaf tea and coffee. Oh, you're in Northern California, right? Okay, so it's well early for you. I don't think I realised you were over there. Neither I did. Um, but yeah. So, gosh, what time will it be for you? Five, 4, 3, 2, 10 past 2. So, absolutely fine time for drinking coffee. Liz has just said decaf is an abomination unto the gods. I mean, see, I love my teas and coffees. Um, but if I didn't, I feel as though I'm like a full low down. Hang on a second. Let me move this chair up. That didn't work. There we go. Now I'm like way up here. Uh, if I didn't switch to decaf at 7 o'clock, if I continued to drink caffeinated, what happens is I get kind of I can struggle to fall asleep, but I also get a bit twitchy when I'm sleeping. I kind of feel myself like twitching in my sleep. So there's far too much energy in my body, but also like, do you ever get that where you wake up and you just get like a big fright and you wake up like for no reason, you just wake up getting a fright? That happens to me a lot if I have too much caffeine too late. Um, so yeah, I tend to have a really unsettled sleep. That's why I switched to decaf. But um, M&S, for those of us in the UK, M&S do a lovely decaf tea, so they do. So um, yeah, I don't mind it. Let's see. Kathy from Tortoiseshell Moon is here. Kathy's drinking a Guinness tonight on a nice couple of days leave from work. Very nice. Um, let's see. Deanne is on the ice water getting geared up for karate. What time is karate at, Deanne? I'll actually not have you for very long at all, Willa, because we are only 4 hours apart today because your clocks have gone forward and ours haven't. So that's right, isn't it? I won't I won't have you for as long. You need to leave an hour sooner than what you normally do. John's the same, total caffeine. Um, Donna, my hubby says it should be illegal to call decaf coffee. um, decaf coffee is quite nice though. It can be quite tasty, so it can. So, Robin saying, "Rise up, Chris, rise up," because I was raising my chair. Yeah. My heart starts throbbing if I have 2 cups of coffee, says Robin. Um, right, okay. Yeah, probably best not to do that then, eh? I heard recently that coffee has a 6 hour shelf life after you drink it. I have no idea if that's true. I think I've heard something like that as well. Um, yeah, like once you've got caffeine in your system, it kind of lasts for 6 hours. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Um, See, beautiful weather here today. Temps reached 71, and I had my first iced tea of the year. No leaves on the trees yet, though. Spring has not yet sprung. Yeah, I feel as though it's taking ages and ages to get to the decent weather this year. Because I'm dying for it to like actually dry up and stop raining. Because I want to take the dogs to like a gated, like kind of a dog park thing, like an off-lead dog park, so that I can let them off the lead and let them run about and enjoy themselves. Um, but yeah, we took them on. I think it was actually Boxing Day, so the day after Christmas, and they just get absolutely bogging. They had to go straight into the shower when they got home. So we're kind of waiting for the weather to get a bit nicer before we do that again. Stu's here. Hi, Stu. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. And Ramon's here as well. Hi, Ramon. Um, Tried to get him to try different brands of decaf, half calf, but he wasn't having it. Yeah, that's what they meant. I have no idea about the 6 hours thing. Fair enough. Fair enough. Shall we have a wee look at the Total Tarot deck that I've got to show you today? I've not actually opened it, so this is going to be a wee bit of an unboxing. So the deck that I have to show you is the Tarot Draconis. So this is the box that you get with Total Tarot. Um, so I mean, obviously, I've not opened it and looked through it properly, but the impression that I'm getting is that it's kind of a Game of Thronesy. But we'll see. I like the backs. Um, so let me just deplastify it. Just the Four of Pence. Total Tarot always send their decks in the same order. So it's I think it's water, earth, fire, and then air. Um, so let's see. I can zoom in a wee bit, I think, can't I? So has anyone got this deck? And what do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you like it to work with? Scott says he hasn't heard of this. These are the backs. Um, so I'm actually really keen on that. I think they're really nice. It's not really reversible, just because of the dragon. But to be honest, at a glance, it's not that obvious whether that's upright or reversed to me. So I think if you work it with reversals, then you could still work with that. That probably wouldn't be too much of a bother. Um, right, okay. So we're just getting the numbers. We're not getting a title. And this is the full card. It's this golden dragon egg. And it's on top of this kind of a pile of gold. So I think in certain kind of a legends, dragons are like hoarders. They love gold and they kind of just they have like a plunder. Um, the most obvious thing that I can think of is Smaug from the Hobbit films and the the book. Um, he like stole the dwarfs' um mountain uh, and all of their gold, and basically just went for like a massive sleep, just surrounded it by these piles of gold. I think. Um, so anyway, this is the full card, the zero card. Um, we've got the magician here, and you can kind of see like the four elements being represented there. That's quite cool. The high priestess, so we can see that the dragon's holding the Torah. We can see the Boaz and Jachin pillars. It's quite grayscale, this card though, isn't it? Like it's not as colourful. Although it's like when you look at it here, it's more purpley than what it appears on the screen. The Empress. V Kestrel's here. Says we'll be listening while I do chores. Brilliant, V. Hope you're doing okay. Cheryl from Oneness Emporium's here. Hi Cheryl, how are you? This is the Emperor card. Karen from Care Bear Bard of Cards is here. Hi Karen, how you doing? Robin says no coffee. A dragon deck could leave you dragon. Um, Liz loves Smaug. A Hierophant card. This is interesting for the lovers card. So this was one of the images that was in the front of the box. It is very is it Daenerys? Is that the Game of Thrones like dragon mother's name? Dragon Queen, whatever her face is. Glad to know it's nice weather in New York, Robin. You never know at this time of year. Um, Scott says those borders would have to go. Yeah, the only thing though, Scott, is I don't know if you can see if I kind of hold it up close, but see how this number just kind of like it just goes below the border and it just goes above. Probably wouldn't be that bad if you were to trim it. You'd probably barely see it, but yeah. But that's the chariot. Borders don't really bother me too much, to be honest with you. It's definitely worse borders that I've seen. Oh, actually, I've got to speak to you about that. I've got another deck to show you that I got last Friday, and I want everyone's opinion on what I should do. So, this card, so I'm seeing the sword here and I'm seeing the scale, so this is justice. But it's not that obvious to see, is it? Hermit. I don't know how I feel about the fact that the Hermit's reading a book. Almost feels more Hierophant-y than Hermity. Um, the wheel. Good. Love this deck. One of many from this era of Los Scarabeo. I have a Dragon Oracle deck and a Game of Thrones deck. Yeah, Daenerys is her name, right? Okay. Um, Roman says I can't seem to relate to dragons or unicorn decks. Can you work with decks when they're themed to something that you're not into? It depends. For me, it depends how well it's done, Robin, and it depends on. So you can theme a deck, but if it's like, well, we'll see with this one. But if it's like blatantly Smithwaite themed, then I think I could still work with it. Probably wouldn't be my favourite to work with, but that was the hang one. Oh, so strength. All right, okay, okay. So that was strength. The hanged one, and then we have death as the dragon skeleton. It's quite cool. Temperance. That is beautifully coloured. Um, the devil. That's really cool. I love this kind of a fieriness down below as well. Karen says, life is too short to do something that you aren't into. I don't get decks unless they interest me. It probably doesn't help, Robin. And why force yourself? Oh, nice tower. Dragon deck from 3 trees might work for you. A lot of woodland dragons, it's cool. Perhaps if it was a gift or I got a great deal on it. Is this the star? 17? It's interesting that we have the two different coloured dragons for the star. Then we have the moon. I love that beautiful moon in the background. The sun. So if we look at the sun and the moon together, that's quite cool actually. Um, Robin isn't usually into animal decks either. Kind of similar, says Diane. Um, Malamir's here. Hi, Malamir says, so sorry, I missed most of listening into this. My YouTube didn't notify me. Malamir, we're only 4 hours apart right now, so I've actually only been live for 20 minutes. So you've not missed most at all. You've barely missed anything. But I hope that you're having an okay day, or as okay as your day can go. And if you're just listening in, then that's cool. But if you feel like chatting, then that's cool too. This is interesting for judgment, isn't it? The harp. Maybe that's a reference to maybe there's something in. Well, I like that. That's quite cool. So it's basically the same, except the dragon's hatching from the egg in the world card. Interesting. Um, okay, so this is the water suit. So you can see we've got the number here and we've got the symbol down here. So the Ace of Cups. Interestingly though, the dragon's just breathing blue fire, which isn't really the same thing as water now, is it? Um, Star's a beautiful card. Yeah, it has that the black and white dragons type thing. But it is nice. Lottie's here. Hi Lottie, how are you doing? Uh, I go down a rabbit hole. That was 2 of cups, by the way. 3 of cups. Yeah, see, we're getting this kind of a quite standard Smith-Waite theme here. Go down this rabbit hole and start researching animals online after I use animal decks. Yeah, same. But that's kind of a like It's what interests me about them, but it's also what stops me from using them more because I know in my head that I need to do research in order to use it properly. Do you know what I mean? Or at least to use it the way that I want to use it, that I would consider to be me using it properly. Um, Five of Cups, six, the Seven of Cups. That's quite cool. So we see the Seven Cups reflected in the dragon's eye, and that's a just a beautiful image. So it is. Kind of weird that the sun dragon is so pale. Malamir says, "Oh, phew, yeah, it's been a super weird day for dizziness. I've been getting multiple kinds of dizziness all happening at the same time. Oh gosh, that's not good." I wasn't into animal decks either, but now that I've acquired a few, I do like the ones that I have. Oh, that's good, Liz. Ace of Water reminds me of Lair of the White Worm. Nice. So this was the A, dragons flying away over the ocean. That's beautiful. Stunning image. Um, the nine of cups. Dragons kind of in the ocean, it looks like, moving towards this light. It's a nice image, but it's a bit odd. Karen, I think it's good to have at least one animal tarot or oracle deck. If you like working with them, then sure. Ten of cups. Rather than a rainbow, we see dragons of all different colours here. Okay, so we have, taking it, this is the page, the knight, queen, and the king. Ah, okay, so the aces are, so hang on, let's just try something here. So there's the ace of water. So if we line the aces up, are they going to be like dragons breathing fire of the four different colours? Ah, that's actually quite visually appealing. And look at this one. It's like electricity for the sword suit. That's quite cool, isn't it? I must admit, I do like that. Now that I see them all lined up, I like it. Um, Let me catch up with the comments. Reminds me, the Sun Dragon reminds me of the dragon who escapes from Gringotts in Harry Potter. Yeah, I know what you mean. Uh, to be honest, I don't like having the tiny element sign at the bottom. I have to squint sometimes. I mean, they're color themed as well, Karen. So it's not just the symbol that's giving it away. The color of the cards is giving it away too. Um, so hopefully that makes it a bit easier. Um, I saw that movie in the cinema when it came out. Um, Curious Creature works for me. They're wearing clothes and human bodies, though. Yeah, that's Chris Andek. I mean, I don't have it, and I've never made made a point in looking through it, but it really doesn't appeal to me. That there's just something about it with the animals, the way they are. Um, let's see. I think that's a fun deck. I think it's done in a non-cheesy way. Such a fun deck. It reads really well. Oh, well, maybe I need to give it a try. Six of coins. Mm, seven. I mean, I can kind of see the idea of like kind of a mastering your craft in this, but with some of these, I'm feeling like it's just almost pippish with a dragon thrown in. Um, I'm not really getting my usual six of coins vibes from this. Um, it's the nine and the 10. We have the page, knight, queen, and king. So we've seen the ace. This is our two of wands. That's quite cool. Three of wands. That's beautiful. The lava. Stunning image. Four. Five. He's been held down. He's been restricted. It almost feels like an eight of swords, doesn't it? I'm thinking, I'm mainly thinking of my low Scarabaeo romantic tarot deck. It's difficult to see signs sometimes. Right, okay, fair enough. I can't do animal heads on human bodies, but to each their own. Yeah, I'm kind of I feel that way as well, Donna. Um, it seemed all the total tarot decks have been familiar ones. I wonder, was this once available, or is it a breakaway new one? No, I think it was. I don't think any of these are like brand new, Robin. I think these are all decks that have been out. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure they've all been out before. Because there's some in there, like the Visconti Tarot and the Illuminati Tarot and all that, that are definitely like their old classics. Eight of Fire, that's beautiful. Really like that. The nine, oops, that's our 10. Let's see that dragon's like chained down. So that's really kind of the Golden Dawn keyword for the Ten of Wands is the Lord of Oppression. So I really get that oppression feel from this. Court cards, that's our page, our knight, our queen. I love how the queen's wearing armor. And king. Right, so the swords cards. Seen this one online before, but don't think it gets a lot of attention, says Karen. Looked it up, says Donna, it was published in 2014. Okay. Um, 2014, wow, that's a while back then, before I was reading cards, says Karen. Sorry, I'm skipping by cards here. That's a stunning Three of Swords, by the way. I really like that. I haven't even really looked at the two, but that's nice as well. That's really cool. Four, five, Six of Swords, bit unusual. Usually we see some kind of journey being made in the Six of Swords. Seven, this shadow in the background, that's really cool. Eight, I like it. The nine, looks more like an Eight of Swords, doesn't it? The 10, what's happening here? Hmm, okay. And then we have the page, the knight, queen. I like how they're up in the air, and the king. Oh, sorry, folks, I'm conscious that I keep yawning. So there we have it. That is the Tarot Draconis. So what do we think? Does anybody feel motivated to now go and get it? As with all of Total Tarot's cardstock, it riffle shuffles really nicely. Okay, I want to show you this Oracle deck that I got. Diana I glided you and showed you, so you've seen it. But give me 2 wee seconds. I will go and grab it. So- Okay, so this is the deck here. I'll zoom out a wee bit. The Celtic Shamans pack. This is John Matthews and Cheska Potter. Artwork is absolutely stunning. So this is the style of the artwork that we get. Okay. It's one of these kind of slide out drawers. Fantastic book, lots and lots of information. Classic John Matthews, really. Yeah, amazing. And again, this is one of the other images that we get. Um, in terms of the cards, we get 40 cards in the pack. So these are some of the cards that we get. And in terms of the fronts of the cards, I think they're done really well, brilliant, no issues. My issue is with the backs. So the cards are split into 7 sections and they're color coded, but on the back. Now, if they were color coded on the front, if it was the front borders that were color coded, I'd be fine with that. That works. That's actually quite helpful because it means looking at it, I know exactly, what section of card that I'm dealing with. But it's the fact that they're color coded on the back that annoys me. So I'm kind of like in two minds about whether I should. I almost want to trim the borders and make it borderless. And I think it'll be absolutely stunning, borderless, but also it'll take care of the borders on the back. The backs will be nice borderless too, because the image in the center is all the same, you know. That's consistent all the way through. It's just the borders. Um, so what do you guys think? What do you folks think? Do you think you'd be able to work with a deck that's got color coded backs? Or are you a bit like me in that you want your backs to be uniform? Um, and do you think trimming this deck would be a good idea? I'll take you through some of the cards. So the sections, I can see that Karen, you've asked, did they do color coded because of a certain spread? Um, so the color the deck is split into 7 sections, all right. Kind of like suits, but not really. So let me tell you what the sections are. So we have one card of vision, and that's this, the Tree of Vision and Tradition, and that's got white borders on the back. So this is the card of vision. We then have 3 movers. So they are the Vision Singer. Zoom in so you can see them properly. So the movers are the Vision Singer, the Walker Between Worlds, and the backs are yellow for this section. And the Wild Man. Okay. And the movers, it says the first of the 6 sets in the Celtic Shamans pack, cards 2 to 4, consist of the following 3 cards. These represent the shaman. Thus, when you lay out the spread or choose one of these cards, it represents you and suggests the approach that you have decided to take in the work you're about to attempt. Okay, and obviously they each have interpretations, but that's basically what that means. Now, the next cards from 5 through to 13 are the Empowerers. Okay, so we have the Ferryman, we have the Woodward. You can see that the backs are red for this section. The Lady of the Ways. The Bride of the Waters. So I think the images are absolutely stunning. The Druid. The Keeper of the Wheel. The Seeress. The Woman Made of Flowers. And the Keeper of Letters. Um, Malamir says the Angel Answers deck does the same thing, color-coded backs. Karen likes uniform. Robin says, I think if you're comfortable with modded decks, then absolutely trim it. Malamir says it's helpful for that deck because each category provides a different kind of answer. Timing, yes. Guidance, okay. Donna had to step out briefly to medicate one of my dogs. I have this deck, but I haven't really worked with it yet. Karen says, in my opinion, I would think colours would have been better on the actual card face, not on the back. Yeah, I think the same, Karen, to be honest. The colour coding on the backs is a little weird. You could add matching colours to the front. Yeah, I could always trim it and then edge, uh, edge the sections. Like edge the deck with its section colour. It's always a possibility. Um, Kathy's got this. It's really gorgeous, but I rarely use it. I'm a lot confused by it. Trimming it could help as the different backs add to the confusion. The next section are the worlds, and there's three of them. So we have the firmament, we have the circle of nine, and we have the in-worlds. Love this image. We then have the four elements. So we see those backs were green. For the elements, the backs are blue. So we have the Mound of Wonders, which is earth. The colours of the winds, which is air. We have the green and burning tree, which is fire. And we have the well of, oh gosh, Sagace, Sagaeus. Not sure how to say that, but that's water. We then have, speaking of animal decks, we have the totem beasts, and these are brown on the back. So we have the salmon, the stag, the crane, the owl, the crow, the otter, the hound, the eagle, the boar, the horse, and the cow. Roman says, I like the colours and artwork. I'd be more tempted by it if it were a borderless tarot deck. I do love these images. So beautiful, not crazy about the backs though. Yeah, I think that's... the next section is the shapers. So I think, and I think this is the last section actually. Yeah, so this is the final section, and these backs are purple. I believe that these are actually, if I look at these, yeah, these are linked to different deities. So the father, which see, I'm not going to be able to pronounce most of these. So I'm probably not just not going to try actually. So we have the father, the mother, the son, the maiden. We have the Lady of the Sacred Earth. That was the card that's in the front. It's a beautiful card. The Lord of the Sea, the Lady of the Moon and Stars, the Lord of the Underworld, and the final card is the Lady of the Cauldron. So, yeah, I'm kind of in the same camp as what a lot of you are saying. I love the images. I think the artwork is absolutely stunning. Love the pastel kind of a use of color. It's just the actual image on the backs again doesn't have no issues with it. It's quite nice, but it's just this whole color coding thing on the back that annoys me. So I'm kind of like I'm going to try working with it and see how it go. Uh, but if it does just annoy me, then I think I'll trim. Uh, I'll take it down to just the images on the front, and I'll take the color coded borders off of the back. And I think that will look quite nice. So let me see, can I start a wee poll? Start a poll. So let's see, to Celtic Shamans pack, to trim or not to trim. So vote and let me know what you think. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Robin says, Chris, you're so well versed in the tarot system. How do you get on with oracles? It really depends, Robin. So if the oracle system is one that I can easily latch on to what the what's on the cards, then I can work with it in the same way that I work with a tarot deck. If, however, it's something where I need to maybe research it a wee bit, so this is probably a deck that's not going to be so easy for me to work with. I'd probably need to, look up what the book says about this card for me to feel like I'm doing it justice. Um, so I'm a wee bit slower with an oracle like this than with tarot. However, there's decks like the Oracle of Echoes. That's got, you know, beautiful images and quite simple, readily accessible keywords. The Zane's Oracle deck, the Tokwitch Oracle, I can read that like a tarot. That works really well. So it really just depends on the deck. I'll just lay out some of the cards so you can see them in a spread. John says, I think it will look much better trimmed, to be honest. I don't care for the bright white border on the faces of the image either. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the trimming it would just open it right up, wouldn't it? Um, Donna says, I never modify my decks. I always just figure out a way to work with them as they are designed. Fair enough. It's definitely a system that requires some study. It's not a read out of the box oracle. Yeah, I agree. Um, let's see. Okay, so we're 60-40 for trim and don't trim. So, I mean, there's the trim seems to be taking the lead, but it's not that far apart. Um, Karen says, me personally, no, because I would ruin it. If you're good at uh, if you're good at it, then sure. I mean, I think I've kind of a trimmed enough decks where I would be able to most likely do a decent enough job of it. Um, uh, I'm trying to think what the last deck that I trimmed was. Can't remember. It's been a long time actually since I have trimmed a deck. But like, I've got something to hand. That's not the trimmed version. I've got a trimmed version of Tarot of the She. But where is it now? There's the question. There's there. So my trimmed tarot of the She, that's done quite well. Like it's pretty uniform on all sides. Um, I have edged it in purple, but as you can see, you know it's really smooth how it's been done. And I've taken this one down to just the images, so I think it looks really cool and works really well. Oh, that's upside down. This is a stunning deck trimmed, and it's playing card size, so it is trimmed, which is really nice. Um, Riffle shuffles nicely. I've just seen Simon's message. Um, oh my goddess, guess who's been nodding on the sofa for the last 2 hours? Oh dear. I hope you don't need to get up really early tomorrow. You're going to be wide awake for a while, aren't you? Um, every time I mod a deck, other than the corner rounding, I feel as though I've defiled it, says Robin. Yeah, it's not for everyone, is it? But there's definitely there's definitely decks where I feel as though I've probably made a bit of a mess of them, but those are probably the ones that I did back in the early days, you know. Um, like I can't my first edition of the Mary L, I kind of wish I hadn't trimmed that, or at least I hadn't trimmed it so early on when I didn't really know how to do it properly. Um, but my Thoth as well, my Thoth I trimmed with scissors. Uh, but that is what it is, as much as I usually hate that expression. Um, Liz is leaning towards trim. As long as you're comfortable with it, go for it. I've never trimmed a deck, so would be a bit freaked out to do so. Would be a bit freaked out to do it too, says John. That's what we caught that from Robin. You should make a how to trim a deck video. I actually have, Karen. I have. Let me see if I can find it. I did it. In fact, with the I'm sure it was with Tarot of the She. There we go. Modifying Tarot of the She, it's called. So let me. Oh wow, I look rough in that video. um, there we go. So that's and I know Simon's done one as well, by the way. So check that out as well. Different perspectives and all that. Oh gosh, Simon, you're up at 5:30. Good luck. I've never cut a straight line in my life, says Karen. Robin says, I trimmed my Thoth with scissors before I learned the cards and ended up having to buy another copy and book just so that I could use it. Um, yeah, I showed this to Simon through the week as well. But Simon, I was just showing this and getting people's opinions on what to do with it, whether to trim it or not, because of these backs. But we're now actually on 56% don't trim, 44% trim. So there we go. Okay, shall we do a wee tarot spread? I'm going to use I'm going to use this Rider Waite Smith deck. So the one that I was showing earlier. I love the embossed backs. I think this is really nice. Um, Simon's voted. Kathy says, I'm normally up for 5 a.m. snooze till quarter past, but I've got a few days off, so enjoying a lie-in. Yeah, and she's having a pint of Guinness too, Simon. What? What's that for? What? Right. So the spread that we're going to do is from the next, uh, what's it called? The next magazine in the series of the Total Tarot. So this is called Greater Wisdom. It says it allows the querent to get in touch with with the best part of themselves, um, or receive advice from a higher power. Either way, the spread's purpose is to provide guidance and positive inspiration. So I think it says like, this isn't like your past, present, future type spread. This is more about getting wisdom from yourself in the moment. Okay, so the positions are 1, 2, 3, and 4, all laid across in the normal fashion, and then we have 5 and 6 are kind of a across the way, bottom and top. We can see what the positions are here. There's a bit of a preview, but I'll kind of call them out as we go. Now, I don't know if there's anyone in the chat who um, is planning on being here for the duration of the spreads and wouldn't mind popping the positions in as I go. Keeps happening to me. The deck. What's wrong with the deck, Simon? So yeah, if there's I can start us off. So the first position is what I think. But if there's anyone that wouldn't mind, just kind of popping them in whilst we go, that would be great. Right, let's shuffle up. Shuffle up, everyone. Let me know what deck you're working with if you're joining in. Oh, you've not seen it before, right? Okay. Yeah, it is lovely, Simon. I thought I'd showed you this. I got it. I think this was what I got on Amazon years ago. This is the box. It comes with a nice bag too. And comes with a copy of the Key to the Tarot. Nice kind of a colour. You can see it's got colour images and stuff. And yeah, nice thick meaty deck. Like I say, the backs are nice and embossed. As you can see, they're kind of a gold. And then the colouring is quite close to the Universal Weight Tarot, I would say. But different as well. Two of Swords is a nice card to look at in the Smith Weight for colouring, isn't it? But yeah, I'm definitely a fan. It's got Pixie's calligraphy. So yeah, beautiful deck. Hi Tony. Oh, thank you, Tony. So Tony's popping the spread positions in for me. So it's called Classic 78 Tarot, Simon. I'll see if I can find it for you and send you it if you're interested. It wasn't expensive. So the first position is what I think. So this card represents the sitter's ideas, perceptions, and opinions. It signifies how they think, abs- absorb, and process information. Okay. Okay, so my what I think card. Oh, so I've got the King of Pentacles. I think this might be my Myers-Briggs personality card, actually. So that suggests that I think like a businessman. I think very kind of irrationally and think about the cause and effect, the consequences of everything. I also think maybe think a wee bit too much about the kind of a finance. I don't know if that's necessarily true. It's not really for me. I don't think it's about the finance, but I do think about kind of my situation and the security of my situation, if that makes sense. So sometimes that is about, looking at the figures. You see that on the screen? Something just floated by. Um, it's not necessarily all about the finances, but sometimes it's necessary to crunch the figures. But making sure that the ship stays afloat. Um, I tend to think about my family first and the people that I care about. Um, yeah, King of Pentacles for me. What have you folks got? Um, let's see. John is using the 5 cent tarot. Kathy's using the Fyodor Pavlov. I've had it for ages, and to my shame, I've never ever used it except to look through it once. So using it this week, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. One of my friends is actually friends with Fyodor, believe it or not, because the person that I'm friends with, his name's Tom. He used to live in the States, and yeah, he was good friends with Fyodor Pavlov. Um, so Tony says I might try out the Aurora tarot for this. Robin is using the CS Tarot Pocket. His first card is the Three of Cups. So what you think? You like to have fun, nice. Donna says the King of Pence can be a little set in his ways also. Yeah, he sure can. Yes, did you see that too, the orb? It's funny, isn't it? Karen's using Tarot of the Abyss, the King of Cups. Um, keep emotions balanced. Nice, nice. I like that we've both got king cards, Karen. Um, Tony has got the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, cool. So you're enjoying what you've worked hard for, Tony? Oh, good, you got it. Brilliant. Hopefully it comes soon then, Simon. And I hope you like it. I hope you're not disappointed. John's got the King of Pentacles too. Okay. Okay, all about the kings here. Um, so what does that mean for you, John? What do you see in that card? Um, see, something that's always struck me about that. I mean, he's kind of a very emperor-like, um, like down to the fact that he's got the armor underneath his clothes the same way as the emperor does. So maybe a bit defensive. Maybe I'm just thinking to myself here. Maybe I'm a bit defensive, but also this guy's very focused on his pentacle. You know, very focused on on the material stuff in his life. So maybe I'm being called out a wee bit here. I don't know. So financial independence and security for Tony with a 9. Liz is using the borderless tarot of Moon Garden. I've got the Knight of Cups. I do sometimes have a romanticized view on life. Nice. Seven of Pentacles for Liz. A lot of Pentacles for card one. So we're all considering material worlds. Yeah. Okay. So card number two is my inspirations. The second card symbolizes what inspires and motivates you, the thing that sparks curiosity and provokes interest. Okay, so my card two is the Eight of Swords. It's my inspirations. It's an interesting card for something to be inspired by, but maybe it's the idea of, I suppose there's two things that come to mind. Maybe it's the idea of breaking free of the things that tie me down. The idea of overcoming obstacles. I have to admit that does really, that motivates me. The idea of kind of overcoming something and feeling like I get a real sense of achievement from that. So there's that. There's also a kind of a niggling feeling like, is this trying to tell me that, is there a part of me that actually likes when I'm, when I'm put in a box, because everything's safe then, everything's defined, you know. Um, Now the expression "no one puts baby in the corner," but maybe some people like being put in the corner. Maybe some people like being, limited and defined because it's safe. It saves you from having to put up with the unknown. And I suppose there might be a wee bit of me that is like that. I'm being really honest here, and I'm being really kind of um, open about what I'm seeing. Um, so John had said, "Kings are knowledge and wisdom for me, but I also see comfort and stability." Nice. Your inspiration is that you want to free your mind. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of the first point I was making, Robin. So the wheel. Okay. So whatever goes, whatever inspiration comes my way. So very spontaneous reading for you so far, Robin, isn't it? Because how you think is the Three of Cups. It's all about enjoying yourself, laughter, having fun. I suppose you do. You're a kind of a creature of humour, aren't you? Like you do see the funny side in a lot of things. And when we're doing these things, you do kind of you do tend to kind of see the puns and the jokes, the kind of a jokey side of things. Um, and then what motivates you, the wheel. So the kind of the change, the turn of the wheel, the kind of a change of life, I suppose. Um, Things kind of are moving. Don't know if I'm making sense there. But in them, not that I'm comparing you too much to the Joker from Batman, but in Batman, Heath Ledger's Joker describes himself as an agent of chaos. Um, I always think of chaos when I see the Wheel of Fortune. Uh, so yeah, it's quite cool. Tony says mental challenges. Inspiration is the Page of Wands. That's a nice inspiration card. That suggests there's lots of inspiration going on around you right now. Sorry, that was Liz. I don't know if I said Tony there. Liz, Page of Wands. Tony is the Knight of Swords. Okay. So how do you see that then, Tony? The Knight of Swords is your inspiration. Um, so you're inspired by being able to kind of intellectually interact with other people by learning new things, I guess. Here's Debbie. Hi, Debbie. How you doing? She says, what are the prompts so I can catch up? So the first one is what I think. This card represents the person's ideas, perceptions, and opinions. It signifies how they think and absorb and process information. Okay, so I had the King of Pentacles. The second card is my inspirations. So this symbolizes what inspires and motivates you, the things that spark curiosity and provoke interest. Um, King of Pentacles and the Emperor. Okay, so those are two quite. So I compared this to the Emperor when I got it. So those are two quite similar themed cards. They're both about that they both have a bit of an authority about them. Um, Tony says I like bondage. Um, I wonder if the King of Pentacles could be a hoarder. I wonder. Um, let's see. Let's see. King of Cups, Knight of Cups. Okay, so the Cups courts. Led by my heart, act on what moves me emotionally. Um, yeah, the self-deprecating, silly side of things, exactly. Knight of Swords is seeking knowledge, inspires me on whatever said topic at the minute might be. Nice. Kathy says Knight of Cups and the Eight of Cups for my inspiration. Finding my own path in the world. Yeah, definitely. You had the King. So, Karen, you had the King, then the Knight. And Kathy, you've got the Knight and then the Eight. All Cups cards so far. Um, let's see. Debbie's got the High Priestess. Okay. So very intuitive then, Debbie. I like it. And the Four of Pentacles for for your inspirations. Okay, so kind of a like there's that element of material security, isn't there? There's that kind of a security in the element of earth. Um, so far this is interesting for me, says John. I'm Taurus on the cusp of Aries. Okay. Um, I think you got the deepest card for position one, Debbie, says Tony. Yeah, for that High Priestess. Yeah, it was a beautiful card. Did you say what deck you were working with, Debbie? Um, yeah, what deck are you working with, Debbie? Card three is my creativity. So this stands for the sitter's creative energies. It points to the things that spur him or her or them into action, and that they are gifted at doing. Okay, so this is like it's like your superpower, isn't it? It's your creative energies. It's the things you're good at. It's your superpower. So let's see, what have I got? Oh, look at that. Ten of Wands. This is a great spread for me, isn't it? This is painting me in a brilliant light. Um, okay, so my superpower is apparently taking on a lot and being able to get a lot done. I suppose in my work life that sometimes that might be true. Um, don't know. Um, but I suppose it's I'm once I commit to something, I like to see it through. I like to stick to it. So I suppose that could be what that is. And it's the Ten of Fire. It's like the very high in the suit of creativity. So um, I don't want to read it too negatively. So Debbie's reading with mystical moments. I pulled all cups and I'm mainly earth and air in astrology. My Mercury is Cancer though, says Karen. Nice. So Robin's third is the Four of Cups. So focused on projects that I'm emotional about to the extent that I have blinders on. Okay, okay, I can see that. As in, I can see that as a valid interpretation of those cards. Um, let's see. Oh, okay. So you've got the Three of Swords for your third card. So your superpower is the Three of Swords. So is your Three of Swords a kind of a Solabusca, three swords in the heart style, John? Or is it a kind of a different image? Um, three equals the world completing something. I'm not necessarily a starter though. Okay. Donna says the Ten of Wands could mean that you have lots of different interests that you're passionate about. Well, that's I suppose that's true. I'm definitely interested in the work that I do. My day-to-day job. I've obviously got an interest in tarot. I've got an interest in art and painting. I'm interested in snakes. I've got two pet snakes. Um, yeah, I'm interested in a lot of things, I would say. Okay, so you do have a Solobusca style three. So if we're talking about that as a superpower, that Three of Swords, I, I was recently listened to the 78 Degrees of Wisdom audiobook again, and Rachel talks about the Three of Swords as like the ability to take things um, into the heart and heal them. I think that was what she said anyway. Like the kind of the harsh truths, the clashes, the difficult words, all the things that the Three of Swords can represent. These kind of um the tough love, all of these things, these kind of things that are said that can be difficult. It's the ability to kind of take them deep within you and transform them. Um, and I think that's definitely an amazing superpower to have. Um, let's see, the Four of Wands, party planning is Debbie's superpower. Nice. The King of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and then the Empress. My creativity is very abundant, and I'm a mum of three. Yeah, am I right in thinking you've got twins, Karen? Um, but that's pretty cool. The Empress is your superpower. I mean, that is the creativity card, isn't it? That's all about creation. Um, could the Three of Swords superpower be the ability to turn lemons into lemonade? Yeah. I guess completion is accomplishment, the things that I'm able to create in the physical realm to give others. Um, oh, what Chris said. So, Kathy, you've got the Chariot as your third card, right? So, Kathy, you must be the kind of person, and you might not think this about yourself, as I think people don't often think this, but you must be able to do a lot. Like, if the Chariot is your superpower, if that's where your creative power lies, then to me, the Chariot is all about, taking on all of the stuff that life throws at you. You can handle a lot of stuff on your plate before you get overwhelmed, and you can usually anything that's thrown at you, you can do it well. You can make the most of it. Okay, card four is insight. So a symbol of how the querent perceives their emotions and feelings. The fourth card describes the way that they see the inner self. It can also indicate a source of sudden understanding about themselves. Okay, so insight, Eight of Cups. So, how you perceive your emotions and feelings, how you see the inner self, source of sudden understanding. And we have the Eight of Cups. So we actually see someone kind of almost walking away from their emotional situation here. Um, so I'm not really sure. This one's stumping me, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm not really. Maybe it's all going to make sense once I see all the cards together, but I'm not sure. I do have two eights here, which is interesting. Um, but yeah, as an insight card, we've got the Eight of Cups. What do we think? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how to interpret that for myself. Um, okay, so you've got the King of Cups for this one, John. That's a that's quite a nice, quite a powerful card to have in that position, I think. Um, in terms of how you perceive your emotions, and that suggests to me that you're very kind of a emotionally strong, emotionally mature, and in control. And you can act as a good advisor to other folks. The Eight of Cups, you know when to walk away from something that's not bringing you joy. Yeah, I suppose. Excuse me, I keep yawning. So Debbie has got the High Priest. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Has got the Queen of Swords for position four. So the Queen of Swords. So that's still a watery card. It's still an emotional card. But that maybe suggests to me, Debbie, that you maybe kind of play your cards a wee bit closer to your chest when it comes to the emotions, the emotional realm. You're not always quick to show your emotions, and you're probably quite measured and quite a level-headed person, and not really one to fly off the handle. That's maybe what that would perhaps say to me. Um, I suppose though, what it could also mean is that you maybe do hold things in, um, and maybe sometimes struggle to, let the emotions out and express them. Which we're all grown ups here. We all need to, we can't just go through life like letting everything out all of the time, but we all need to have like an out for these things, I think. Um, so yeah, that's cool. Um, so you know how to reserve your emotions when not to spend your emotional investment. Okay. And Kaz, hi Kaz, how you doing? Uh, I need to search for the deeper meaning in life. Yeah, yeah, I can resonate with that. Um, yeah, I do. I feel as though like I do get really emotionally kind of invested in things. So if there's something that I feel quite passionate about, I find it really difficult not to get myself riled up about it. Do you know what I mean? So if I'm scrolling through like Insta and Facebook and stuff and I see certain things, like it does get me in like it does get me in the emotional center, whether I like it or not. I would love to be the kind of person that could just kind of rise above stuff, but I tend to need to step away and take my time. I need to come away from a situation and give myself time to react before I can then come back and respond. Um, so yeah, I do tend to kind of go deep with things, I think. Um, Robin says, whoops, the Page of Pentacles. Appreciate what I achieve and manifest into something substantial. So your Three of Cups, your Wheel, your Four of Cups, and your Page of Pentacles. Nice. Um, could as well though, Robin, like the Eternal Student, you know, it could tell you, it could be because the Page of Pentacles for me is like, they're the enthusiasm-filled student. Um, they're learning something new and they're excited about it and stuff. So to me, that might suggest that you're in your element when you're, when you're learning something, when you're getting your teeth into something. Um, Tony's got the foolhardy, maybe childish innocence leaps and bounds. Um, okay. I keep having to look back at the spread position for some reason. I keep needing to reread the 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 wee bit of information that it gives with it. So I'm going to read it out again. So insight, a symbol of how the querent perceives their emotions and feelings. The fourth card describes the way that they see their inner self. It can also indicate a source of sudden understanding about themselves. Don't know what it is that's thrown me, but there's just something about it. But anyway, Debbie says I'm usually level-headed, but sometimes not so much. Um, Malamir says, sorry, I had to step away. Tony, what was your question? So we're just all doing a spread together here, Malamir, and pulling cards for ourselves. Uh, so your Eight of Cups, Chris, you know what does and doesn't work for you. You might take the path less travelled to where, hang on, I need to start again. Your Eight of Cups, Chris, you know what does and doesn't work for you. You might take the path less travelled to get to where you want to be. Right, okay. Yeah, I can see that. Do you know what's always bothered me about this card, by the way? So he's like walking this way, right? So he's like basically come from this direction, but this is all water here, is it not? We have grass down here, and then we have a body of water. So what has he done? Has he swam across? Like, I suppose that's not that unusual, but like, has he just swam across this, or do you think that's small enough where he's just stepped over it? Is it really just a puddle? What do we think? Something that's always irked me, not irked me, but it's something that's always kind of been in the back of my mind about that card. Um, Kaz is saying, long time lurker. Chris, you delve into and seek answers. Um, yeah, Robin says, I'm a learner for life. Yeah, get excited about starting a new project. Um, Karen, for the fourth one, you've got the Ten of Cups. So wanting to have a happy family, simple joys. That's nice. Um, Tony says Scorpios are deep. The Eight of Cups makes sense looking in, Chris. Uh, Simon says, I always saw it as stepping stones. Ah, okay. Okay, so you think he's come from kind of a this way, from across these stones? Fair enough. Could be, could be. Um, Looked out and turned around. But yeah, shallow water. Laughing, just realised another cup card for me. This one jumped out. Tony says, wait, not Moses, Simon. Was that a joke about parting the sea? Um, See the Six of Cups for insight for Kathy. Okay. I don't know. Understanding myself comes from embracing my inner child and my past, maybe. Yeah, potentially. Potentially. But I think as well, like, so the Six of Cups for me is like finding your happy place, particularly if you've been going through some emotional shit, some emotional garbage. Um, if you've been going through something difficult, Six of Cups is often for me, it's an advice to find find your happy place, emotional system reset. Find that place where you can go, where you can kind of forget all of the shit that's kind of going on for the time being. You can be protected, and you can just be your happy self, and almost like just give yourself a wee bit of a boost. Um, so maybe what it's saying, um, is that your insight into yourself comes when you have that calm and reflective time. That kind of a less intense time, and a bit just things are a bit lighter. Uh, some places when the tide is low, you can walk across it. So maybe the tide is just now started to come back in. Maybe. Um, you two, Kathy, were mostly all cups, says Karen. Um, Yikes, left for a minute, and when I came back, my third and fourth cards were the Queen of Swords, my favourite, and the King of Cups. Nice. I think somebody else had the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups, did they not? Or similar cards. Um, They may have just come from Burg Island to Bigbury on Sea. The cards look lovely. Are you looking forward to getting it then, Simon? Um, I'm glad I found a Rider-Waite Smith that Simon didn't know about. I think I can. I don't know. I think I should get a fridge magnet or something for that. I don't know why I would want a fridge magnet because my fridge isn't magnetic, but I've got an integrated fridge. But do you know what I mean? I feel as though that's worthy of a badge or something. Let's see. Or he's seeking higher ground because he's fed up of soggy feet. Yeah, yeah. No one likes soggy feet. They do have a nice colouring to them. Yeah, they do. Right, let me move on to number 5. So this is the second last position where I am. So this card depicts the sitter's current psychological state and how they are feeling. These feelings are not to be seen as a problem, but rather a starting point from which there is opportunity to evolve thanks to the greater wisdom received from the reading. So where I am, and it's your current, where you are just now. So let's see, for me, I've got the Seven of Swords. So we're popping this way. Don't think it really matters. Seven of Swords. Okay, so how I'm currently feeling is the Seven of Swords. So I know that for lots of people this card is about deception and dishonesty. I tend more to see this as just a thinking outside the box card. It's a problem-solving card. It's basically, to me, this says, the issue that you're currently facing, the solution isn't the obvious solution. It's not to tackle it head on. You need to find an alternative solution, a wee bit of innovation, a wee bit of problem solving. Um, have a think about it, use your intellect and think about it and find a way around the problem that isn't necessarily tackling it head on. So in the image, we see someone who knows that he can't defeat the enemy head on because there's too many of them. So he's gone into the encampment and he's disarming them. He's taking their swords away. So if he disarms them, then they're less of a danger to him. Um, oh, the focus is going a bit funny there. Did you see that? There we go. So that's where I am just now. A bit of a problem solving um, place, I guess. Um, your fridge isn't magnetic. No, it's integrated, so it just looks like cupboard doors, Simon. Um, I don't have like a standalone fridge, if that makes sense. Sorry, is this deck different from other Rider-Waite Smiths? Yes, yes, Tony, it is. The colouring is different. Let's see. So Debbie has the Eight of Swords. I'm my own worst enemy. Okay. Karen is saying mine's isn't on the front because stainless steel, but is magnetic on the side. I love collecting magnets as souvenirs. As Liz, have you got the Eight of Swords as well? Same as Debbie. Donna says, interesting that you've reduced the number of swords from card 2. Yeah, we've gone from the 8 to the 7. So John has got the Fool. Okay. So your current situation is you're diving into something new. So King of Pence, the Emperor, the Three of Swords, and the King of Cups, those are very kind of like well established, experienced, wise, knowledgeable cards. To then go to the Fool is where you are just now, I think is really interesting. And that's not in a bad way at all. Like I think the Fool is a fantastic card. It's in the game of Taroke, it's the best card there is, it's the most valuable card, I think. Um, and yeah, in the tarot it represents that motivation to jump from one major arcana to the other, you know. Often the Fool's a good card if you're feeling blocked, you know. Um, like if you're feeling blocked in a particular situation, Fool would be a good cure to this actually. So yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Um, Tony says the Seven of Swords, risky behaviour. Robin's got the Ace of Swords, so starting to embrace something new in the way of thinking and communicating. It's interesting. You get a page and then an ace. It's definitely something new going on around about you Robin. Um, yeah, like it's almost like it's saying to you, like your mind is primed and ready to soak up new information. So if there's something new that you've been looking to get into, now is a good time, I would think. Sometimes see the Seven of Swords as a card of authenticity, being the real you. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, your inspiration was to free your mind, and you're currently doing just that, creative thinking. Yeah, so you've both got was it the Eight of Swords? Nice. Well, I suppose not so nice, I guess, actually. Um, or, well, as it depends how you read the Eight of Swords, I guess, isn't it? But if that's your current situation, then that suggests that you're maybe um, feeling a bit stuck in place just now. I think last week we learned a lot though about that, didn't we? We learned a lot about the Eight of Swords and those kind of situations. So we often see, like, I know when I'm reading the Eight of Swords, I'm normally like, oh, you're feeling a bit stuck, but the instrument to setting you free is round about you. You've got the key type thing. But I think through conversations that we had and different readings that people were getting, we kind of well, I felt as though the cards were saying to us, well, sometimes we need to stay put. Sometimes we need to pause, um, and just take stock or recover, rest, or whatever it might be. There are lots of reasons why we might be required to stay in one place, and sometimes it takes for an outside force to come in and actually stop us in our tracks. So yeah, I feel as though that was something that I really learned last week, and that's why I love doing this. Um, it's because I think that there's always opportunity to kind of gain new insights. Um, yeah, it was this idea of, don't always necessarily think of this as a situation that you need to get out of. Sometimes this is a necessary evil. Really liking this reading so far, says John. Good, I'm glad. Um, Karen's fifth card is the Chariot. Nice. Who was it that had the Chariot as card 4 or card 3? Someone had the Chariot as their superpower card. Um, but nice. So the position you're in just now is, well, I mean, the Chariot, you've got a lot on your plate. That's natural when you've got 3 kids. But um, yeah, like you've got a lot going on. You're juggling a lot of things, but you're in control and you know, you're you're able to kind of manage all of that in order to drive things forward in a positive way. Oh, Karen, you've put a whole thing about the charity here, and I've just not read it. So, determined to move forward in a balanced manner, self mastery. I like this version. A woman flying black and white swans. Um, Tony says Robin must have a new deck in the midst. Um, let's see. The Eight of Swords could be the Mercury retrograde card. All communication blocked. 8 can be mastery, says Tony. Kathy, it's got the 9 of Pentacles for where I am now. So emotionally rich for that's for sure. Yeah. But also remember what we were saying before, like the 8 or the 9. The 9 of Pentacles, it's not just about being a rich bitch. It's about, you've worked hard to get to where you are, you know. You've really put in all of the effort to get there. So you enjoy it and like you make the most of that, and know that you know everything that you've got is something that you've worked for and you've achieved. um Karen and Kathy's spreads are mirroring a lot. Okay, the final card, the 6th card, so is the Greater Wisdom. So it says the final card represents a source of inspiration, creativity and insight that is new to us. It could indicate where to look in order to take a next step, a personal quality to nurture, or just useful advice. The purpose of this card is to encourage your querent to listen to the wiser part of themselves, as doing so is likely to provide useful and empowering insights. So the greater wisdom. So this is almost like a summary card, isn't it? Oh, I've got the High Priestess. How's that for a card to end on? High Priestess card. So my greater wisdom is my intuition. I suppose it's my ability sometimes to tap in, and just like actually listen to that, that knowledge from my higher self. Um, that because the high priestess, she represents all of the knowledge, all of the collective unconscious, all of the knowledge in the world. She holds the Torah in her hands, um, and that's there for us all. We can all access that collective unconscious. I suppose it's just about being able to quiet ourselves and actually listen to it. My method for tapping into my high priestess energy has always been with the tarot. Um, I'm trying to get better at doing that in other situations as well, you know. Like I try and meditate. I suppose I probably shouldn't call it meditating. I'm not sure if it even is meditating, but I do try and like just kind of a sit, be still, be quiet my mind, and just see what comes to me, you know. Orb. Um, so and yeah, trying to listen more to my instincts when I'm kind of in the hustle and bustle of the everyday world as well, I guess. And something else that so this is I might have mentioned this last week, but there's a kind of a witchy fair thing that they do here every so often. It's usually once every month or every 2 months, and they have like, lots of stalls where you can buy different things, different kind of a witchcraft Wicca type things. There's like pens and stuff. There's jewellery. There's tarot. Um, the tarot by Peachy, who I've talked about before and who I've gotten some decks from. She usually has a stall selling tarot cards, but there's also they have readers tables. They have readers that do stuff. So I've messaged them to see if they'll let me be a reader at one of their um, tarot market things. So we'll see. I've not had a year or an A yet. They just asked me for some information. Um, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm putting myself out there, and I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to read. Well, I'm hopefully going to read tarot for strangers in real life, IRL, in the big bad world. So we'll see what comes out of that, I guess. But anyway, I've been yapping for long enough. Um, okay, there we are. So Robin has the King of Pentacles. So reviewing and taking pride in all that I've mastered and accomplished. Nice, I like that. That's really nice. Um, it's nice that I like a spread that ends on the King of Pentacles because for me, and probably for a lot of us, Pentacles is the last suit. So the Fool is the first card, and the King of Pentacles is like the final card of the tarot. So the Fool almost represents the blank slate, the complete and utter potentiality, whereas the King of Pentacles is like everything manifested, you know. So it's like everything you're trying to achieve, it's like it represents the realization of that and the manifestation of that. So I do enjoy when I spread ends on the King of Pentacles. That's always something that comes to mind when I see that. Um, see, Liz's fifth card is the Four of Wands. Cool. Okay, so that was this card. That was your situation now. Um, Brilliant. Robin, your spread ending with the card that Chris started with, yeah, and John as well. John started with The King of Pence. I'm wondering what John's ended on. The Nine of Cups, a jumper two, not and Willie kind. Gratitude. So gratitude for your Nine of Cups. That's really nice. Um, See, okay, so John got the Ace of Pentacles. So you've started with the King and you've ended with the Ace. So that's really cool. So that's like the Ace represents the entire potential of the whole suit. And it also represents new opportunities arising around about you. So that's a really nice card to get, I think. What was your fifth again? Your fifth card was the Fool. The Fool. So you're jumping into new things and there's new opportunities arising around about you. That's cool. Um, oh, I've lost my place. Oh, there you are. Okay, so Robin says, Tony, no new decks, but I'm recently teaching a private tarot class and continued work writing my auto bio. Brilliant, Robin. Brilliant. That's really cool. I would love to. I went to visit Elaine from Celtic Roots Tarot. She works in a shop in Glasgow. And I went to visit her last Friday. In fact, that was where I got the Oracle deck that I showed you. Um, but yeah, so Elaine was telling me about her tarot class that she does. Um, and some of the stuff that she was telling me was fantastic. Stuff that I had never thought of before. Um, but yeah, I'd love to hear about your private class, Robin. Um, oh, thank you. Thanks for your support, folks. Let's see. So, oh, your sixth card was the Four of Wands, right? Okay, okay. So that's your wild card. That's your kind of a sum up card. So that's a nice. I mean, the Four of Wands is the Lord of Completion, so that's a nice card to end up on as well. But that's a kind of a validation. It's celebrating that. You know, I was thinking about the Four of Wands. From the Smithway. But I was thinking about the Four of Wands lately, and let me find it so I can show you whilst I'm saying this. But does anyone think that the Four of Wands kind of looks like they are worshipping or praying or thanking that it's there? It almost looks like they're like, like they're bowing down to something that's like it almost looks like worship or praise or, prayer. Um, like really extravagant thanks. Just really pleased and grateful and a card of celebration is what I see. So it's definitely a really nice card to end up on, I think. It's a nice kind of a overall theme. Um, let's see, the Four of Swords. I can't remember the prompt, so Tony's put it above. So it's the Greater Wisdom card essentially. So it represents a source of inspiration, creativity, and insight that is new to you. Um, See, Justice is Karen's sixth card. Balance is of the utmost importance. Any big decisions made, I need to keep in mind karmic laws, cause and effect. Act on the up and up. So that was your fifth card. I started with the High Priestess and ended up with the Empress. Girl power. Nice. Yeah, that is really nice. That is very, very divine feminine, isn't it? Picking the Barely Balance group. I saw that, Tony. I got a wee pop up when you posted there, so I did. So that's cool. Um, See, I could see the King of Pence as someone looking over and pondering their life's work, says Donna. I started on the nine and ended on the nine of pentacles and ended on the nine of cups. Okay, so moving from a material place into a more emotional place. Um, See, I'm trying to maintain my balance amid studying astrology for 8 months and my family and applying for jobs now too. Okay, yeah, yeah, I can see why you've got justice there then. The Four of Wands is like, hold on, we're coming with the communion wafers. Do you think that's what it looks like? Um, a hand fasting card, Four of Wands. Yeah, cool. Sometimes I like to add my cards up and do the numerology. So the kings would be 14, like the courts for me 11, 12, 13, 14. So I would do like 14 plus 8 is 22, plus 10 is 32, plus 8 is 40, plus 7 is 47, plus 2 is 49, and 49, 4 plus 40, 47, 49. Yeah. At 49 reduces down to 13, which 4 and 9 is 13, which is the death card. I'm a Scorpio, so um, suppose that kind of makes sense. But death is all about, transformation, things coming to an end and new things beginning and transforming from that. And again, I said earlier, I've been listening to 78 Degrees of Wisdom, and I think it's in that where she talks about, transformation isn't just about change, it's about evolving through the change, It's about changing but gaining, it's almost like leveling up, if that makes sense. So that's pretty cool. So Tony has got 9, 12, 21, 0, 7, and 9. Oh, you want me to do it? So let's see. 21 plus 21 is 42, plus 7 is 49, plus 9 is 50, 42, 49, plus 9 is 58. So 8 and 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The same as me. Beth as well. So that's interesting that we both got 13 as death, isn't it? So again, more transformation. Um, I started on the King of Cups, all idealistic and starry-eyed, and ended on the Four of Swords, needing a nap. Um, I want to post some content too. The past week just blew up in my face, says Karen. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Karen. Mine's breaks down to 9, the Hermit. So, right, okay, so going within. So that's interesting with so your spread felt very, as I'd said, these cards lined up were very kind of experienced and established and wise, and you know, and then you had your full and your ace. So really jumping into new beginnings with those last two cards. So it almost felt like a spread of two halves. So to have the Hermit as the overall theme, it might not so much be like a physical change, but it's more very much a psychological, emotional, mental change where you're really kind of going in and going deeper within yourself. So it's a change that you'll feel internally, but might not necessarily reflect as much in the external world. I suppose, given that this is a psychological spread, it's a spread about wisdom, that probably makes sense to get that kind of message. Liz, yours adds up to 7, as does Robin's, which is the chariot. So keeping the momentum going, definitely. Um, sometimes does anyone? I've had this random idea lately. So you know how the lovers, if you think of the lovers as a card about choice, and that choice is when you've got different parts of yourself, pulling you in different directions. So you've got the sensible choice, and you've got the choice that you desire. Um, so the lovers is kind of like you're toiling between the two, and then the chariot is like, depending, I suppose, what deck you're reading with, but in this Myth Weight chariot, let me see if I can find it quickly. Both of the sphinxes that's there near the top, both of the sphinxes are actually, they're tamed. They're very much under control, and there's no physical connection. It's all willpower. So to me, the chariot is like mastering making choices, becoming a master of making choices, and having those choices like I suppose influence your life in the best possible way that serves you best. Um, so I think that's quite cool. Say that a lot, don't I? I think that's quite cool. Um, Karen, needing a nap. I wish mine would have told me that. Um, I only just found my calculator, no idea where it lives. 13, which reduces to 4. So I'm going with stability. I'm not ready to transition yet. Fair enough. Um, Mine added up to 12. The Hanged Man, pause for a new perspective. Pisces season card. I like the Hanged Man. I think it's quite a nice card. It makes me think of the story of Odin, and like hanging from Yggdrasil in order to gain new wisdom. Um, see, that is really so much what I've been going through, so this makes sense to me. That's good. I'm glad, John. Um, by the way, John, am I right in thinking of or am I getting mixed up? Do you work with like glass or something like that? Like, have I seen? Have you got like an Instagram, or have you got like a website? And am I right in thinking that you work with like glass and making things out of glass or something like that? Or am I talking out my arse here? Um, see, death is another water card. Adds to 6 the lovers for Debbie. So making choices, I guess, or finding that harmony, that harmony in life. I see the chariot as aligning your intentions and desires with your actions to achieve your goals. I like that. That's really nice, and it's nice and concise how you've said it. Um, I always enjoy us all working together like this, says Robin. Yeah, so do I. So do I, Robin. Kathy's cards total 42, which is also the lovers, same as Debbie. What is the nap card? I could use that once in a while, says Liz. Oh, actually, yours adds to 7. So the chariot. I want to break mine further down to 3, the Empress. Yeah, I've not made that up, right? Yeah, so John is a glass artist. So yeah, I must have seen you on the socials somewhere, but your stuff is really cool. Like I always think it's amazing people that can do that. Um, it's a very, very kind of a special kind of skill. And the stuff that you make is beautiful. Let me just say. Um, Kathy, the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. What did Kathy say? I want to break mine down further into the Empress, yeah. Um, welcome to the Seven Club, Debbie. Um, you know, I do like the Hanged Man and Tarot of the Abyss on second thought. The bird's looking at everything upside down. I don't know if I said that right. Walked away from my spread. Yeah, so the Hanged Man in Tarot of the Abyss is Odin, because that's Hugin and Munin that we see, his two ravens. Um, so that is a nod to Odin. So it is that card. Um, so it's this idea that we are the not we. What was I talking about there? I was talking about Odin, wasn't I? So Odin hangs himself upside down from the Tree of Life from Yggdrasil for a day, and sacrifices an eye to the underworld, but it allows him to gain insight. He can now see, both the internal world and the external world, or the underworld and the overworld. Um, so it allows him to gain new wisdom, and I think he discovers the runes as well, doesn't he? Um, so the Hangman is a really powerful card. So it is. In fact, the Hangman almost like could represent the tarot. A tarot reading is hanged man energy. You're taking a pause, you're sitting down, you're to gain new insight into a situation. Yeah, we're following each other on Instagram. Yeah, no, I think your stuff is really cool. Karen loves glass art. Let me see if I can share. If I can get onto Instagram, that is Instagram. See, am I logged in? Oh, I am. I am logged in. There you are. I take it you're quite happy for me to share your um share your Instagram page, John, and your website. Is that okay? Oh, that's me. Yeah, fine to share. Brilliant. So it's John Ritzy Glassworks, is that right? Pretty sure it is because I'm following. Um, yes, it is. I've just found you. Right, so this is John's website and his Insta page. So everyone check out John's work, especially for if you're interested um, in glass art. Okay, just casting my eyes down to see if I've missed anything. Right, folks, so that concludes the spread. I think we'll leave it there for tonight. Um, I'm going to get myself to my bed and get some sleep. But thank you so much for being here, everyone, and thanks for joining in. As always, I've really enjoyed it. Let me just take a picture of this just now and I'll post it whilst I remember. It's going to be a really shit picture because there's a big shadow in it, but never mind. Um, yeah, thanks very much for being here, everyone, and for participating. It is much appreciated. Try to think, is there anything particular happening next week? I know there's a week coming up where I am live with Jan, but I need to check. It is in my calendar actually. The 28th. Yeah, 28th, I think me and Deanna are meant to be going live together, so I'll check with her that that's still happening. I am actually, I'm out, so I'm doing like a volunteering day with my work on the 28th, and then we're going out to the pub afterwards. So you never know, you might have a slightly tipsy Chris on that day. So yourselves and Deanne might all be in for a treat. But other than that, I don't think there's anything particular I've got to report on. So I will love you and leave you. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you all later. Bye bye.